Welcome to Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Jolene Ibanez, and I'm your worship associate today. I am having technical difficulties with my iPad, so I'm using my phone, and my eyes aren't that good for reading anymore. So I apologize if I get a little lost. I'm joined this morning by Steve Morihiro and Susan Shaw, our co-music directors. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve isn't here today, but Susan is. Danielle Lewis, our Director of Religious Education for Children, Religious Exploration for Children and Youth. And we welcome you this morning. Some of you have been coming here for decades, some for days, and some are new faces for us to all get to know. However you happen upon us this fine day, we are glad that you are here. Our minister, Reverend Sean Wilshire, is not here today. She's not leading our service, but she has a special message just for you.
Hello, Roomers and Zoomers. Well, if you don't know me, I'm Reverend Sean, coming to you from my summer sabbatical, which means I'm somewhere out there reading, napping, and almost certainly having a conversation with a stranger that gets way too deep, way too fast. It's a gift, really. And I can guarantee you that I'm thinking about this community and how you all are doing. Because I've got plans for when I get back. No, just kidding. All right. If this is your first time with us, welcome. I know visiting a new church can feel a little like showing up to a party where everyone seems to know each other. Who are these people? Will they like me? Do I fit in? Is there coffee? And yes, there is coffee. That part's fine. Here's what I want you to know. Most of us started exactly where you are. A little curious, maybe a little cautious, wondering if this place is just really weird or something, you know. And somewhere along the way, this place became home. And it takes time, so give yourself that gift. We'd love to get to know you. And yes, me too. I'll be back sooner than you realize, and I can't wait to meet all of the new folks. In the meantime, we put together a beautiful service today, and we hope you leave feeling a little less alone and a little more alive. So, let's begin.
And who we do have with us this morning is Reverend Kusala, who was ordained in 1984, and he's been doing 20 years worth of community service in several different places, which he'll tell you about, as a Buddhist practice. And he'd like me to tell you that he's happy that he's still alive. I think we all are. I want to extend a special welcome to visitors, where if you're seeking a spiritual home, we hope that you will find it here. We're a community of many different identities and beliefs. We're bound together not by dogmas, creeds, or fears, but rather by a covenant to create a welcoming, inclusive, and loving community. We need not think alike to love alike. Today we come together to explore service. So open your hearts to that which can be done for others. In the spirit of that, and in the spirit of this community, let's recognize the many volunteers who have helped put this service together today. Yay. Thank you very much. Roomers, we invite you, with the wholeness of our hearts, to silence your cell phones. And Zoomers, we would love it if you could say hello to each other in the chat. Hi. As we worship today, let us acknowledge that our church property rests on the sacred ancestral homelands of the Ahachiman and Tongva peoples who seek justice and responsible stewardship. We begin our worship with the lighting of our chalice. And as I light our chalice, let us say our unison affirmation together. Love is the spirit of the church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth in the heart, and to help one another. This we affirm together. Please rise and embody your spirit and join us in singing our opening song.
Gather the spirit, harvest the power, our separate fires will kindle one flame. witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind. Seeds for the sowing are laid in store. Nurtured in love and conscience refined. With body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
Call to Service by Leonard Cohen, the musician. And if you didn't know, he was also a Zen priest at Mount Baldy Zen Center. And then nothing happened. A little later, nothing happened again. Thank you.
Today's Time for All Ages is called The Legend of the Moon Rabbit. We have a little video for you guys.
Hello, little explorers! Welcome to the very first story in our new series, Legends Before Bedtime. Tonight, we're hopping up to the moon to discover a tale of kindness, courage, and a very special rabbit. Are you ready? Let's begin. Long, long ago, when the moon was bright and close to the earth, animals would often look up and wonder, who lives up there? In a quiet forest where bamboo swayed and stars blinked like fireflies, there lived 3 friends, a monkey, a fox, and a little white rabbit. They were good friends, always helping each other, always sharing food and shade. One day, a wise old god decided to visit the forest in disguise. He took the form of a tired, hungry old man and said, "I have no food. Can anyone help me?" The monkey climbed high into the trees and brought back sweet bananas. The fox darted through the woods and returned with berries and roots. But the rabbit had nothing. She looked around, then looked up at the sky. All she had was her soft fur and her gentle heart. So she built a little fire and said to the old man, "I have nothing to give, but you may eat me if you are truly hungry." The old man was stunned. He had never seen such kindness. In that moment, the fire vanished, and the old man changed back into his true form, glowing and grand like a star. "You are the kindest of all," he told the rabbit. "To honor your heart, I will take you to live on the moon, where your love will shine forever." And from that day on, when the moon is full and round, people say you can still see the little white rabbit pounding away with a small wooden stick, mixing herbs to make the elixir of kindness for anyone who dares to be as selfless as she was. The moon rabbit reminds us that true kindness doesn't come from what you have, but from what you're willing to give, even when it's hard. A loving heart can shine brighter than the moon itself. Good night, sweet dreamer. May your dreams be filled with stars, stories, and the soft sound of rabbit paws on moonlight. Until next time, keep dreaming big and being kind. For more stories, like and subscribe.
All right, I'd like to ask you to join us as we sing our religious exploration children to their classes.
A couple minutes of meditation today. Find a comfortable position with your feet flat on the floor. Bring your attention to the tip of your nose and feel the sensation of breath. That sensation always happens right now. It doesn't happen tomorrow, didn't happen yesterday. It always happens right now. Where you live, this is the place. You're always here, always will be, even though sometimes we like to be other places. So bring your attention, count from 1 to 10, 10 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 1. You can count the inhalations, you can count the exhalations, or you can count both. If you find you've lost your place before you get to 10, go back to 1. If you're going from 10 to 1 and lose your place, go back to 1. This is called going back to 1 meditation. Begin. Feel the sensation of breath going in, going out. Going in, going out.
For all that is alive, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise, for all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy to be anywhere today. And I'm going to talk about community service, which is something I would never talk about because I wasn't doing any. But then I became a Buddhist. So 77 years ago, I was born in Iowa City, Iowa. I was a Lutheran. My parents were happy about that. And I continued to be a Lutheran until the 1960s. I found myself listening to all the propaganda. Don't trust anyone over 30. Wow. I said, really? And I continued not to trust anyone over 30. Now I don't trust anyone over 85. And I found myself in high school. And that was just a wonderful time to be in high school in the 1960s because we had a bunch of chaos going on. All the time, every day, you look at the news, how could this be? And it was, though, it was. And then I reached the age of 29. I freaked out. I'll be dead soon, I said. Everybody over 30 dies quickly. I need a religion so I can die well. And I bought a book by Houston Smith, World Religions. And I went to the chapter on Buddhism. It made perfect sense. I don't know why. I didn't know any Buddhists. I didn't know what Buddhism was. But this one chapter awakened something in me. So I found a meditation center, which is where I now live. I went to the Yellow Pages Meditation Center. It was in there. Remember the Yellow Pages? Yeah, it was there. So I showed up. It was a Wednesday night. It was cold and rainy. Hard to find parking because it was in Koreatown. Everybody lives there shoulder to shoulder, car to car. I walked in. They said, the cushion is over there. You sit there for an hour and a half, and pretty soon after that, the teacher will come down and give you a Dharma talk. Now, I didn't know how to sit in meditation. I didn't want to sit in meditation. I wanted to find out about Buddhism. So I sat there for an hour and a half. We had a 25-minute meditation, 5-minute break, 25 meditation, 5-minute break. It was the worst experience I ever had. My knees hurt, my back hurt, my mind was agitated. Why are they doing this? What possible good could come out of sitting an hour and a half on the floor? And they never turned on the heater either. It was chilly. But finally Shinzen came into the room to give his Dharma talk. Now Shinzen was this American guy. He'd been going to UCLA. He'd been studying Japanese. He ended up going to Japan for advanced studies, and he got ordained as a Shingon Buddhist monk. Then he came back to the States and lived at the center where I started my meditation practice. And what I noticed was I could understand what he talked about because English was his first language and my only language. But that understanding only went so far, because philosophically, he was way beyond me. He pointed to the wall. He said, you know, that wall is transparent. I looked at that wall. It wasn't transparent. But I wanted to see the world the way he did. So I continued to practice and continued to practice and suffered all the time. And then I found out what the first noble truth is in Buddhism. Life ultimately is unsatisfactory. It was proven to me every time I sat down to meditate. This was the truth I understood completely. But he continued to talk, the Buddha, and he said, I have figured out why we suffer, and I have figured out how to end that suffering. We suffer because of desire and craving and attachment and aversion and a thirst that can't be quenched. And we can end that suffering in what is called nirvana. Now, I don't know what nirvana is. I've never talked to anybody who's achieved nirvana. The Buddha never talked about it either, because he probably realized we wouldn't understand what the heck he was talking about. So it's this sort of place or thing or experience or mind state, whatever the heck it is, we don't suffer. And finally, the Noble Eightfold Path. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And those 8 path factors come together in a unique way and allow us to be liberated, to find our freedom, freedom from suffering. So I bought into the whole thing. I'm going, yeah, this is so cool. I'll never have to suffer again. You know, and so I did it, and then in 1993, I moved into the center to become ordained. I was going to be a monk. I was going to be somebody. I was going to be a monk. What do monks do? I didn't know what monks did. I ended up mowing the lawn a lot, residential manager, fixing broken sinks and faucets. That was the monk thing that I did. But I kept studying, and there was a College of Buddhist Studies, and I got a BA from that, and I kept understanding more and more, deeper and deeper. And then one day, 1997, it's on my webpage if you're curious, monkla.net, monkla.net. What a cool domain name that was. And I was invited to Cal Poly Pomona to give a talk to the Buddhist club, Chinese Buddhist club. Here comes the white guy. Chinese Buddhist club. They were all wondering what the heck I was going to talk about. I was too. And in that meeting was a reporter from the LA Times and a photographer. I didn't know they were going to be there. But my picture ended up in the LA Times. I couldn't believe it. I became somebody. You got to be somebody to be in the LA Times. And I was there for a good reason, not a bad reason. And they were talking about my community service that I had started. Now, about 2 weeks later, I got a phone call. Deacon Szymanski, LA County State Prison for Men. Kusala, I saw your picture. Can you come up to Lancaster and help us? I said, well, you know, I don't have a car, I just have a motorcycle. How far away is Lancaster? Oh, it's not that far. Oh. And I want to tell you, if you're on a motorcycle and going to Lancaster, it's like going to hell. It's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter, and the wind never stops blowing. You can change lanes and not even know you did. It was amazing. 4,000 men together. And there was me. And I was escorted to the chapel. They have a chapel. And I met my guys. They all seemed like really nice guys. I'm thinking to myself, why are they here? Why are they here? And then I found out some of the backstories. I'm glad they're here. I'm glad they're here. So we started. We even had a couple Buddhists. We had some hippies. We had some yoga people. And they all wanted to learn how to meditate. So they brought their blankets from their cell, and they folded them up nicely, and they sat on the blankets, and that was their cushion. And the thing I noticed right off the bat, they never closed their eyes. They don't trust the guy next to them. Eyes open, always worried about something. So we started to meditate, and some caught on, and some did it just to get out of the cell, and it was okay. We had a little philosophy, and I talk about this, and I talk about that, and they liked that. And then one day they came to me and they said, Kusala, we have the worst food up here. Could you talk to the warden so we could get some better food, maybe some fresh fruit and vegetables? And I said to them, I'm not here to change your diet. I'm here to change your mind. They weren't impressed at all. They wanted food. I said, okay. So we did that, and it was fine, and I found some other volunteers to help me. And we would go up together, and they'd go to different units. I was in the high security unit. And then after about a year up there, I left the other volunteers, and I got another phone call. Mr. Noy Russell, Central Juvenile Hall. Kusala, I saw your picture in the paper. Can you come and help us? Now, Juvenile Hall is where all the young people go before their trials and stuff, and they're just sort of kept there. And I said, sure, how many Buddhists do you have? And I said, well, I haven't found any. But I know they're all suffering, and you talk about suffering. So can you come up here and give a talk? I said, sure. So I went, my first talk was given in the high-risk offenders unit. And as I walked into the room, they were all sitting quietly, some wearing orange, some not. And I looked around and I felt immediately comfortable. We all had the same haircut. I can relate to these guys. So I said, does anybody know anything about Buddhism? No, heads shook, no, don't know. Anybody here suffering? Every hand went up. I said, okay, let me tell you about suffering. See, I don't speak about a lot of different things, but suffering encompasses everything. So I gave my talk, and they said, can you come back on a regular basis? And I brought my harmonica with me, and I played some blues for the guys, and they really liked that. And then I was invited to go to the school on campus there. They have a school. Even if you're arrested as a young person, you got to go to school. There's no way out. So I was invited to go to the school, and going in the room, and there was this rather elderly, about my age now, rather elderly woman who was the teacher. And she said, can I pull you aside just for a moment? I got to say something to you. I said, sure. So we go to the corner of the classroom, and she says, you know, this is a public school. You can't talk about God here. I said, no problem. Now you may wonder, do Buddhists believe in God? You know, and some Buddhists do. I've talked to them. They believe in God. And some Buddhists don't. They don't believe in God. And most Buddhists don't know what's God. You know? Because if we could petition God to end our suffering, we would. But he, she, it doesn't seem inclined to end human suffering. And I got a chance to ask a Catholic priest the big question: why does God allow people to suffer? Can't he end it? Why doesn't he end it? And he said, because God wants you to have a choice. And eventually you become your choices. And if you choose kindness and generosity and wisdom, wow, what a good person you'll be. Some people spell God G-O-O-D. Makes sense to me. So needless to say, the teacher in the classroom was not offended and allowed me to come back and give more talks. So I was there for a long time. I was there for 5 years. And one of those years, I became Volunteer of the Year. I got a certificate suitable for framing. I got this little plastic thing that said Volunteer of the Year. Now, being a volunteer, you don't make any money, but you get a lot of certificates. I call it the wall of me. There they are. So now, during this time, I got a call from the Garden Grove mayor saying, we have a mayor's prayer breakfast coming up. We saw your picture in the paper. Can you come and give the keynote address at the mayor's prayer breakfast? I said, sure, I'd be happy to. But I gotta warn you, I don't pray, I just eat breakfast. He said, that's fine. It's okay. You don't have to pray. We're going to serve you anyway. So I gave my talk, and the police chief of Garden Grove heard about my talk and said, we'd like you to join our chaplain's crew. We have a Jew and a Muslim, and we have a variety of Christians, but we don't have a Buddhist. Would you be willing to be a ride-along chaplain in Garden Grove? Cops was my favorite show. Hell yes, I'll join up. Do I get to wear a bulletproof vest? You sure do. All right. So I had this nice jacket that says chaplain on the back, had a hat that says chaplain, black slacks. I was dressed in black. I was a chaplain. And I asked one of the officers, I said, why do I have chaplain all over my body? What's the point? He says, you'll be shot last. Then he got an interesting sense of humor. But I was there for like 7 years. I was riding along, finding out about the underbelly of society. And the underbelly of society is just people who are confused and lost and not quite on the same page with the community. That's all. There are nice men and women and there are young people and you meet all those people and you just take in the fact that these men and women who are police officers every day go out into the community and they perform something that's special. You may not think it this way, but there's a kindness attitude that they have. And they go in and they want to discuss and talk and maybe give some direction, maybe some encouragement. It was a wonderful experience. I learned a lot. Now, during this time, because I'm free and don't charge, UCLA, University Religious Conference at UCLA, said, our chaplain is cutting back. It's a woman, she has children and a husband. She can't devote the time necessary to be chaplain at UCLA. Would you be willing to be a chaplain at UCLA? I thought, man, of course. It's going to be so much fun being around people that are smarter than I am all the time. So I was there like 12 years. And during that time, I was invited to the medical center to give talks to the other chaplains on Buddhist patient care and end-of-life issues. How do you live as a Buddhist? How do you die as a Buddhist? I was talking earlier today about that, death and dying. Ram Dass said, in the beginning of our life, we're working to become somebody. Towards the end of our life, we're working to become nobody. We're all in nobody training. But why is that? Somebody asked Ram Dass. Why does somebody want to be nobody? And Ram Dass said, because nobody dies well. Nobody dies well? What the heck does that mean? It means that the part of us that doesn't want to die is the ego or the self. And if we can sort of anesthetize that ego and self for a while, we'll have an easier transition to the next lifetime if you're a Buddhist, to heaven if you're not. Wow, okay. So I learned a lot, again, going to all these different places. They said, what do you bring? What can you offer us? They said, what can you offer us? I said, nothing. That's the Zen tradition. We offer nothing. We just show up. We show up. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them all. Bodhisattva vow. Mahayana Buddhism. Second kind of Buddhism in the world. Now, I didn't want to be a bodhisattva because you have to save all sentient beings. We got 8 billion people right now, and everyone is suffering. And next year, we're going to have 9 billion. And everybody will be suffering. And I wanted to go to nirvana, the end of suffering, eternal peace. Kusala, we saw your picture in the paper. You're not going to nirvana, man. We need you here on earth. We need you doing stuff. Can you do stuff for us? Can you do stuff for us? And my answer was always, yeah, okay. I can fit you in. I've got students and I've got prisoners and I've got other people. I have a YouTube channel. Got to devote some time to that. I have podcasts. Because I'm somebody. But was I really? Are you really somebody if you don't do anything? Yes, you can be a celebrity. I'm a celebrity. What do you do? Nothing. I'm a celebrity. You got some cool shoes, Mr. Celebrity. I'm a celebrity. It's up to us to choose. Once we become somebody, do we do something? And if we do something first, do we become somebody? Because people want you to be somebody. They appreciate the fact that you are somebody. And when you give a talk or play your harmonica or whatever you do, they want to applaud and congratulate you. And if you're nobody, they can't do that. So you have to be somebody some of the time, nobody some of the time, and doing something all the time. Yeah, that's the ticket. I'm half somebody, I'm half nobody, I'm all doing something. And what have I learned from doing all that stuff? It doesn't end. It never ends. You never finish. You know, you might think you do a good job, but they don't know you did a good job. They didn't know you before. They're not going to know you in the future. You just showed up, and you said some stuff, and some of them liked it, some of them didn't understand it, some didn't like it. And then you left, and you show up again. And can you do that without any rewards? I tell you what my practice is in coming to a place of acceptance with the indifference of the world. I have 8 cats that I feed twice a day. 8 cats twice a day. Homeless, abandoned, just showed up, hungry, needing a place to stay and a meal once in a while. And there I was. I have people on Facebook sending me donations for the cat food. It's about $250 a month on cat food. People say, well, why would you spend $250 a month on cat food? And my answer is, why not? If you got it, it's going to a good cause. You're keeping little lives alive. And somebody said, well, what did you learn from feeding the cats? I said, they never say thank you. It's perfect training for the real world. And this afternoon, I was up this morning at 4 o'clock. I get up at 4 o'clock every morning because I post on Facebook. People follow me. They expect me to post. I'm up at 4 o'clock because Koreatown is only quiet at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I go feed the cats. That's an hour, hour and a half. You wouldn't think it would take that long to feed 8 cats, but they're picky. They always go to somebody else's bowl thinking it's better. And once in a while, they want you to pet them. One of the cats likes to come into my room at the center and sleep in my bed. And that's okay, as long as he doesn't wake me. And you just look at this and go, okay, yeah. And then in the afternoon, around 2 or 3 o'clock, time for lunch for the cats. Now, sometimes I have a little breakfast, and sometimes I have a bigger lunch, and sometimes I have a little supper. So I don't eat as much as I used to. The cats eat more than I do. But you know what? That's okay. Because that's the kind of selfless service that changes the world. And people might say, but feeding cats changes the world? Going to a prison changes the world? It has a ripple effect. It's like throwing a little stone in the pond, and little wavelets are created and go to the other shore. And every time you do something with kindness and clarity, generosity, compassion, wisdom, those little ripples go out into the world. And you don't know it, you can't see it, but they make a difference. So I have no proof that those 20 years has changed anything except for me. It changed me. That became my practice. A little meditation, a little reading, a little reflection, and community service. And every so often I look back to who I used to be and say, well, you know what? You made a good choice. Because even though you'll never have a lot of money or a good car or fancy shoes, certain things are suffering less because you came into the world. And you didn't know what was ahead or in store for you. And you just kept doing what you do, and it kept unfolding in a really interesting way. Man, really interesting way. And here you are today, and you're in relationship to all the previous people and selves and egos you used to be, but you've evolved into this. And now, as your journey comes to an end, you have a lot to think about. You'll be lying there, and you're not going to be watching TV in that hospital room. You'll be thinking about stuff. Well, I'm glad I did this. I'm glad that cat found us. I'm glad I'm able to feed them. I don't need fancy shoes. My car still works. Funny story. I went to the AAA smog check. If you pass at the AAA, you walk across the parking lot, they give you your ticket, your tab, and your new registration. Don't have to go to DMV, don't have to mail anything in, it's right there. So I passed the smog check, I went in, it was my turn, I go up. Wonderful woman, so helpful. So nice to see helpful people. And she says, I do this, yeah, this looks good, okay. And then she looked at me and said, have you thought about life insurance? What? Well, I'm a mother, I've got 3 children. I have life insurance. Do you have life insurance? I have cats. I don't have life insurance. I have enough money in my savings to be buried. But, who am I going to leave the money to? Family? They're going to fight over every penny. He said that was mine. Who gets his golf clubs? I want his car. No life insurance. But isn't that how life works as you get older? They look at you and they just, right in your face. Do you have life insurance? The other day, I'm walking down the street, wearing my civilian clothes, Levi's, an old t-shirt, hadn't shaved for a couple days. In my neighborhood, that signals homelessness. The white guy is homeless. So I'm walking down the sidewalk. I just been to AutoZone to get some brake fluid, and there's this homeless couple right in front of me. And they're walking, and there's this shopping cart with a futon in it, and some clothes stuck underneath the futon. And I'm walking, and the guy notices that I'm behind him, and he looks around, and he says, "Is this yours?" "No, I'm just walking." I said, "Wow, isn't that how it works? The older we get, the harder it is to be desirable. You know? And that's a good thing because it gives us more time to work on ourselves and find out how to finally let go of self and just be. Be. Just exist in the interconnection and interdependence of all phenomena. Interconnection and interdependence of all phenomena. That's how we be on Earth. I want to thank you for listening. You stayed awake the whole time. I appreciate that. Now, I brought my harmonica just because, and I'm going to move to the harmonica mic.
Rev, we're going to do something else, and then we're going to come to your harmonica. Is that okay?
That's wonderful.
Okay.
It'll give me a chance to relax.
There you go. Sit on that.
Harmonica is coming.
Please rise, embody your spirit, and let's get our song on. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. Come on, I want to hear you. I asked my sister, come and go with me. I asked my sister, come and go with me. I asked my sister, come and go with me. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. I asked my mother, come and go with me. I asked my brother, come and go with me. I asked my brother, come and go with me. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that members and friends raise all the funds for the operating budget, ministries, and programs of the church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. OCUC amplifies that spirit of generosity by sharing half of the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. And this month, we are sharing with Camp de Benneville Pines. Yes. Who in the room has been to Camp de Benneville Pines? Yes. How many here adore Camp de Benneville Pines? Wonderful. How many plan to go back to Camp de Benneville Pines? Very good. All right. So the thing is that every year it gets more and more expensive to run a camp like that. They have to protect from forest fires. They have to shovel out snow. They have to keep the roofs in order. They got to keep everything spick and span, and they got to feed us all when we go. So even though when we go, we always pay a little bit of money on our own to be there, they still have operating expenses over and above that which they are asking us for. So let us all be generous this month and help them out so that we can continue to have a retreat right up there in Big Bear. If you haven't been there before, it's a lovely cabin and group of cabins with a lodge and a fireplace and a fire pit, and they offer classes and meditations and music, and it's just a lovely, lovely time. And they also have a hot tub and a pool, which I have heard in the past has been really rowdy. What she said. Okay. So we would love for you to do that. There are multiple ways in which you could support the church and this organization. You can mail a check. You could go through our website. You can use an app called Vanco Mobile for those who understand tech. If you are a roomer, you can just use the basket as it is passed. The choice is yours. All the information is on our website should you need it. And as always, thank you for your generosity. And right now, we would like to hear harmonica.
Okay, a little harmonica in the key of G. That's a good key.
Thank you very much, Reverend Kusala. That was awesome. All right, please join in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts we share.
We gather together, we gather as one, for peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
Now is the time when we honor the important events in our lives. You are invited, one and all, whether you are a member, a friend, or a visitor, to participate in our weekly ritual of joys and sorrows. So let's take a deep breath. Perhaps you come here today holding something close to your heart, moments from the last days or hours that have struck you at your core. If you'd like to honor such a profound joy or sorrow, you are invited to do so. If you are a roomer, you're invited to come forward and light your candle. If you'd like to share your joy or sorrow with the rest of us, you can write it out on a slip of paper provided by our lovely ushers and hand it to me or hand it to whoever's at the table here, which should be Judith. If you're a Zoomer, you're invited to write your joy or sorrow in the chat. Once the roomers are done lighting the candles, I will read all the joys and sorrows shared out loud as Judith lights the candles for the Zoomers. As the music is played, I invite you to silently offer healing or celebration as you feel called and according to your own beliefs. Roomers, please come forward. All right, let's begin with Colleen Z, who's has a candle of joy. Joy, joy, joy to the universe, to life, to Kusala. Thank you. Here I have two people who have said something similar. So I have Sarah J. Joy, candle of great joy, the flowers today. So if you could light that one for Sarah. Flowers today are in celebration of my wonderful friend Maria G., whose birthday is tomorrow. What a tremendous gift her friendship is to me. And we have Juliana G., who says Maria's birthday is on Monday. Happy birthday. It's a joy to celebrate with her. From Jazzy and Jamie, we have a big thank you to two very hardworking young men, John Michael and Carlos. They do an excellent job helping people at this community. A joy for Jeffrey. I celebrated a secondary birthday, his second celebration, on Thursday. I went to Olive Garden and Toy Story 5. We really need the message from that movie right now. Talk to Jeffrey, he'll tell you about it. Here's one of joy from Tony V. My partner, Cannon, for achieving a special personal milestone today. With many more to come, I'm proud of you. And the person that we were discussing earlier, Maria G., says, the great dream I had last night. Joy. Looking forward to sharing in Dream Group. And so happy to have this lovely community. So if you guys want to know what she's talking about, you have to go to Dream Group. A joy for Carol R. It's been very enjoyable having my friend Bernard visit from Germany. I was just there. Who is going back on Tuesday. Thank you. Adam G. would like to celebrate the joy of being, he's happy to be recognized for 25 years of membership in this loving community. Yay! Similarly, Linda C. is happy about for the loving fellowship of this church. Thank you, she says. Yay. Meg Wilson, Neg W. Joy, because Shirley, it's for those of you, we used to say last names, but we are all on Zoom now for the wider world. So it's harder for us to get to know everybody's full names now because we don't mention them. I know that's tricky, but we're just going for a little privacy. So that's why we try to say the last initial instead. So we just got to learn those first names of everybody, yeah? So Meg W. says, because Shirley T. is enjoying a cruise in Alaska with her son Chris, and this makes me very happy for my dear friend Shirley. Well, how lovely is that? Sarah would like to say a joy. I come back from my right foot surgery and I had to heal my right foot, so happy to be back at church. Yes. I do have one sorrow in the room, and that is from Lori M. And she reminds us that today would have been her son's 49th birthday, and it's his first birthday since he passed away, and she misses him. Now our online, we took care of Sarah J., and now we're going to CCN. This is a joy. Please light a candle for Cece and Toshi, sharing joy and gratitude this month for being able to enjoy ice cream together again and finding amazing new flavors like Fluffernutter. I think I need to know where that ice cream is. Cece, send me a link. And then Craig says, Craig P., a joy from Craig P. for such a peaceful service. I love our community of somebodies and nobodies doing acts of service. And I think we have one more. This is from Lee Marie. Oh, goodness, Lee Marie. A bit more than a week ago, my heart stopped. I was lucky to notice feeling weak, called 911, went to ER where I had emergency surgery and now have a pacemaker. Grateful to be there and feeling fortunate to have such a caring community for all their cards, notes, and email. What a great opportunity to hear Ven Kusala today. Nice timing. All right, and I have one, and I didn't get to go over there, so Judith, could you light one for me? We just came back from a European cruise with our son Chance, who graduated from high school, and that was super spectacular. Look on Facebook, I posted 5 billion pictures. And also this week, Joel and I got to perform for the first time in the show that we are a part of. It's a professional show, we get paid. And it's at, I'm not doing a plug, this is just a joy for me. That we get to perform at the Pirates Dinner Theater space. It's called the Murder Mystery, Speakeasy Murder Mystery and Other Acts of Prohibition. And our cast is amazing. Our director is really sweet and good, and the producers are fabulous, and we just love what we're doing. So that's what we're doing on our Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights for the foreseeable future. So talk to me later. Okay, let's see, let me go back to our actual script here. I got my iPad to work, yay. Let us hold in love all the joys and celebrations and all the hurts and sadness, both spoken and silent. Let our joys remind us to be thankful, and our concerns remind us to hope, and our sorrows remind us to connect. Let all these moments remind us that we are not alone. Please join Judith in a spirit of prayer or meditation.
Spirit of life, known by many names, yet by no name fully known, we gather today with hopes and dreams and also with fears and wounds. May we be reminded that all things come and go, that today's joys and today's sorrows will in time give way to those of tomorrow, and that those of us who have strength to share today ought to do so while we can, and that those who are in need ought to allow ourselves to receive, for tomorrow those roles might well be reversed. Spirit of life, Mother and Father of us all, help us to remember those who are not here with us today, those who need what we have found here, and those who have what we here need. May we always be open to growth and change, to movement, to grace. In the name of all that is holy, and in all the holy names that have ever been uttered, and those that have not yet even been imagined, let us say, blessed be, shalom, and amen.
Let us join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice and say together, we extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we go together again. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you're a guest, a visitor, or someone who has not yet been known to us, I invite you to become a part of this beloved community. If you would like to know more about our church, we invite you to either stop by the welcome table in the courtyard, right out there, Jazzy's sitting there right now, or contact us at hello@ocuuc.org or any of these email addresses up here, and we will help you get connected. Zoomers are welcome to stay after and chat with one another online. We want everyone to feel a part of this beloved community, so please reach out and we will reach right back. We also have announcements. It's not a very happening week, but what is there is quality. So we're doing the lunch bunch at Holy Smokes. Oh, the place is so good. And that's today at 12:15. We also have Stitch Witch and Drummers and Strummers. If you haven't done Drummers and Strummers yet, that's a good time on Wednesday at 7. You do not need to know how to play anything yet. We just come have fun. That's what it is. And that's here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. Next week we have an atheist and humanist and agnostic group and nonfiction book group. And just keep looking on the website to see if anything else pops up that's going on around here. And wait for our next big thing, which I'm sure will be coming soon. And I will turn the microphone over for a moment to our Reverend.
May those of us who have come together today in mind and heart be happy, peaceful, and free from suffering. May no harm come to us. May no difficulties come to us. May no problems come to us. May we always find fulfillment. May we also have patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome the inevitable difficulties, problems, and failures in life. May the suffering ones be suffering-free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief. May the sick find health relief.
Hit it, Phil. Let us go out and go to our part. Let us go out. Bring joy to the child. Let us go out with indifference joy. Let us go out with joy. Let us go out and on to our part. Let us go out. Bring joy to the child. Let us go out with indifference joy. This service is over. Let our service begin.